Hi, Coffee Talk is on the air. Morning conversations about things of interest to you. If you'd like to be a guest on Coffee Talk, just email us your information at wpkyonline@gmail.com. We're proud to call Caldwell County home. WPKY.
Good morning. It is 8:18:58. It's going to get warmer today, but we're just about to the max. Hey, I do want to mention we did not have a winner today for our KFC trivia. I just know you knew this one. We're joined this morning by Trooper Rob Austin from the Kentucky State Police. He's going to talk to us about the Angel Initiative. Trooper Austin, let me ask you. This was our trivia question this morning. Sonny the bird was cuckoo for what? You don't know the answer?
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
That's right. So you knew the answer. So, hey, you're today's trivia winner because, no, you're not because you didn't call in. But anyway, yeah, nobody got it. I was disappointed. But you would have if you'd have called me.
There you go.
So you're here this morning. We're going to talk about a program called Angel Initiative. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
What we're trying to do is we're trying to help anyone that has any addiction problem come into the Kentucky State Police. And if you come in and you're sober, you can't come in intoxicated or high. But if you come in sober and you say, hey, we need help. I'm having an addiction problem or I'm battling with a problem with alcohol even. Come into us. We'll get your information. We'll find you a bed. We'll call a rehab wherever we need to across the state. And if at all possible, we're going to get you a bed and get you in and try to get you help. Now, that being said, we're not going to foot the bill. The taxpayers' dollars don't go to pay for all of this. So it's going to go on your insurance, or some of the rehabs actually offer charities that'll actually help you pay for the rehab. But if you'll come in, we'll do everything we can to get you help.
Okay, so if we don't have insurance, you said there are some. Do you have specific agencies that are for people who don't have insurance, or is it just kind of a...
We do. We have an active list of different rehabs in the area and what rehabs actually will help with charities and everything. And it's not a guarantee, but it is something that's optional. It's an option there that's available for everyone.
All right. So how would we get involved? Do we have to come to the post? Do we call somebody? What?
Yes, you need to try to find transportation to come to our post, which is on the Parkway, the WK Parkway, right in the middle. Most people in the area know exactly where I'm talking about. It's 1000 Western Kentucky Parkway is the address. Just show up at post and be ready to go because we're going to do everything we can to get you in a bed at that time.
Okay. When did this start?
We launched this last year. Is whenever we actually put it out there for the public and started going with it. It had been in the works for a couple of years before that, I believe since 2016, but last March is when we actually launched. And since last March, we've actually had 8 people come through our post and go through our program. So that's 8 different people that have been helped, and you think about the effect that has. You have family members who aren't battling with it now. They're not worried about their loved ones. You have potential children, and you think about the other people that those individuals would have came in contact with that could have possibly influenced to go down the wrong path. So this has a larger effect than people realize, and that's why we're trying to get everyone help that we can. This isn't about getting soft on crime. It's about helping people who need help. We're putting drug traffickers in prison, but we're trying to help those who are addicted get help.
And since you said you've helped 8 people since, and that was actually one of the, I'm glad you said that because I was actually going to ask how successful that's been. Have you followed up? Do you do any sort of follow-up?
Occasionally we do. Someone was telling me that one of our individuals, one of our gentlemen that actually came through the program, I don't remember if it was post 1 or post 2, is actually a counselor at one of these rehabs now. So it is working, it is effective, but the person has to want to help themselves.
Wow, that's excuse me, that's amazing.
Right. And that's another thing to remember. This can't be court mandated. You can't go to court and say, Judge, I want to do the Angel Initiative so I don't have to go to jail. That's not the way this works. This has to be completely voluntary.
Okay. Now, you said that someone has to be sober.
Correct.
to get involved. I had also, when I first heard about this, we did a news story on it actually, and that's how I heard about it. I read that there will be no criminal consequences for coming in and saying, I need this help. But you're saying that we're stipulating that as long as you're sober when you go in, there will be no criminal consequences.
Correct. We're not going to send you under the influence with anyone. And that's one of the bigger things. We're not going to let you come in under the influence, because if you're out in society and you're under the influence, it's technically against the law. So you have to be on your own. I need help. I'm sober. I need help. It can't be just a whim while you're high saying, hey, I need help. Also, some people are driving, so we don't want them to drive. If we see you and you're under the influence, we have to arrest you. There's no way around it. So if you come in for the Angel Initiative and you're high or you're intoxicated when you show up, we have to arrest you for driving under the influence.
Have you had any of those situations yet?
I believe we've had one happen. And I don't know if that was at this post. That's just talking, group setting. I believe there's been one situation where that happened.
Mm-hmm. And did that person maybe, at least maybe come back after?
On that, I don't know. I would hope so.
Mm-hmm.
But again, people's thinking isn't completely, accurate whenever they're under the influence. So who knows?
Yeah.
But hopefully they did. I hope that didn't dissuade them in any form or fashion. And that being said, too, we're not going to arrest you. We're going to let you come in. We're going to get you help. As long as you're sober, if you have drugs and you say, hey, I don't want to leave these out, I don't want to throw them in the trash, and some kid find them or somebody else find them or have to deal with it in the dump or whatever, we will destroy your drugs for you and not charge you with it. But that being said, if you're on your way to post and you get stopped and you have drugs in your car, you can't just say, hey, I'm going to post for the Angel Initiative, because that way criminals would try to take advantage of it. So if you get caught before you get to post, then you're going to be charged. But if you bring your drugs to post, then you will not be charged with it. Okay,
so if I want to get, and I by me I mean I've not had an issue with myself with addiction other than food. So I understand from that perspective how this must be for others. But if I am trying to get sober and I want to get involved in this initiative, and I do have things in my house and I do want to get rid of them, but I don't want to put them in my car and take a chance of getting pulled over, what can I call someone? Can they come clean my house without?
That would be my advice. Would just call someone and say, hey, I want to do the Angel Initiative. I've got these drugs here. I don't want to be arrested on my way there. Of course, we don't want to be taken advantage of. So if it became a problem and everyone was trying to pull the wool over our eyes, so to speak, we would have to change something. But as of now, if you have drugs and you're concerned about it, but you're wanting to turn yourself into the Angel Initiative, just call Post. Say, hey, I'm trying to turn myself in for the Angel Initiative. I need help, but I have these drugs. What do you want me to do? And then we'll direct you further from there.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I would hate to think that I'm trying, but I'm going to get nailed one way or another.
Right.
And so yeah.
The big kicker is we don't want you to be stopped on a traffic stop, mm-hmm. and a police officer find drugs, and you say, oh well, I was just going to the Post for the Angel Initiative to turn those in, because that's not going to work.
Sure, I understand that. Yeah, and I can see how that would easily be a way for someone to easily take advantage.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that. Now, once we come to you and we say, okay, I'm ready to start this, what is the process after that? You said it's immediate help.
Well, it is. It's immediate, but it's slow immediate. You come to Post, we figure out what your addiction is, what your battle is, because there are different approaches to different addictions. And so we're going to look out and we're going to try to find you a rehabilitation center that meets your needs and that has an open bed, because that's what a lot of people run into when they do want help and they try to get it on their own. They call these rehabs and they're full. We have resources where we can reach out across the state and actually find you a bed, and then one way or another get you transported to that rehab if necessary.
And that was going to be my question. So if the rehab isn't close, then you will help with transportation.
The beauty of us is we're across the state, so if we need to, we'll set up relays where maybe I'll drive you to another post and then another trooper will come pick you up, and he'll take you to the edge of his post area, and then so on and so forth. So we do have that flexibility and ability to get you across the state if need be.
And I love that in less than a year, because, we're talking, you said March, it started of last year.
Right.
You've already had 8 successful stories.
Absolutely. We were actually mind blown with the success and the fact that people are actually taking advantage of this, because that was our thought whenever we first launched. Are we really going to have people signing up for this, or is it something that, we're just putting out there and it's never going to be used? But for our post, and I can't speak across the state, but for our post specifically, we felt like there's been a lot of success.
And this one person that you said went on to be a counselor, was that also from the KSP post? From post 2, or was that somewhere else?
I can't remember if it was post 2 or post 1. We have a lot of meetings. The public affairs officer, Jay Thomas, at post 1, and we speak about the Angel Initiative fairly regularly. And I myself haven't actually put anyone through the Angel Initiative. It's normally someone who's at post that helps them get going. Lieutenant Derek Smith is wonderful with this. He's a wealth of knowledge, and he has all the resources that we need, and he stays on top of it. So,
who started this program?
I don't remember where it was started initially, but this is something that's been going on in other states for several years now. And our commissioner, Rick Sanders, started it in J-Town when he was the police chief there, and it was having success. So he wanted to get it statewide for the Kentucky State Police. So he launched it, and here we are. And it's been amazing. It really has. Do
you have any idea how he got involved? What sparked that for him?
I do not, right off the top of my head.
I was just curious, because we know that it's no secret that substance abuse is a major issue. How many cases would you say you see per year of substance abuse issues?
We arrest hundreds of people for drugs every year, thousands across the state. On the back of our Angel Initiative brochure, it even has statistics. In 2016, there were 1,237 reported heroin opioid-related deaths just in Kentucky. So in 1 year, you have over 1,000 people who have overdosed. 2016, Kentucky law enforcement made 1,178 heroin trafficking arrests and 2,731 heroin possession arrests. And that's just heroin. That doesn't include methamphetamine, pills, opioids, any other drugs. That's solely heroin.
And how long have you been a trooper?
I've been with the state police since 2015.
Have you seen a gradual increase?
In heroin, in our area, yes. Drug usage is pretty steady from my start, but heroin has increased, yes.
Wow. Do you know a reason for that?
It's just starting to filter its way in. Heroin's been really strong in Cincinnati, Louisville, cities up north, and in Nashville. And so it's taken a little bit to trickle down to our little areas of the state, but it has gotten here now, and we are actually seeing cases of heroin in western Kentucky.
Now, see, I personally don't know anything about that. I don't know the difference between what's worse. How heroin is worse than cocaine or anything else, or what even people are doing right now. So
the issue with heroin and a lot of the other opioids is that people are overdosing on them because they're not understanding how much they're actually using. Heroin is an opioid like Lortabs, oxycodone, that type of thing. With heroin, one of the common things that's going on right now is people are lacing it with fentanyl and carfentanil. So you have fentanyl, which is substantially stronger than morphine, and then carfentanil, which is substantially stronger than fentanyl. And they're lacing it with these drugs. And so there's no way to truly gauge how much they're putting in there. And so someone who uses heroin may try to use the same amount they normally do, but it's laced with fentanyl or carfentanil, and so they overdose. And that's what's caused the epidemic largely in hand in Louisville and other areas of the state.
And do you know specifically in the Princeton-Caldwell County area, statistically, what kind of increase we've seen?
I don't with heroin. I know drugs are here, obviously. I think everyone in the community knows that. But with heroin, I couldn't tell you how many cases we've had here in the last year or so.
Okay. Well, I know that it's bad. I know I've heard, like I said, I don't live here, but I've heard enough and I've worked here long enough to know that it is an ongoing and increasing problem. So I think this Angel Initiative is an excellent start. It's obviously not going to be the only thing that needs to happen, and I don't have the answers. That's up to y'all that know more than I do to be able to help. But I think this is a great program from what I can see.
I agree, and I think if our community takes advantage of it, it's going to be very beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And hopefully now that the word's out, we can get more people to take advantage.
Well, and that's one of the things, too. That's one reason I'm glad you had me on here is because I start talking about this. I'll do a program or a presentation somewhere, and I'll bring up the Angel Initiative always because we're big supporters of this. And everyone's like, well, why haven't I heard of this? Well, we're putting it out there, and we're trying to put it out there, and it's largely on us. We need to advertise and make sure everyone knows a little bit more about it. So hopefully this and continued efforts will help the public.
Absolutely. And we'll have you back to talk more about it,
Absolutely.
Talk about it again. We might even repeat the same things, but if somebody else hears it, if we can help one other person, we'll repeat it as much as we have to.
Right. Absolutely. Anytime.
Okay. Trooper Rob, did you have something else you wanted to talk about? I see a stack of stuff there.
Well, if you've got a little bit of time, I do want to talk about this. Kentucky State Police, we also have something called Trooper Island Camp. It was established in 1965 by the Kentucky State Police. It's on Dell Hollow Lake. We actually have an island, and it's a boys and girls camp. And we take approximately 700 campers every year, and it's typically children who can't financially afford other camps. They get to participate in athletics, canoeing, archery, fishing, swimming, and several other camp activities. So one of the reasons that we're able to do this is we have raffles every year. This year is one of my favorites. We're actually raffling off a 2019 Corvette Stingray. It's a beautiful car. It looks like something you would see on TV. And there's only 25,000 tickets. Each ticket is only $10. And that gives you a chance to win a brand new Corvette. 1 in 25,000 isn't too bad, especially for $10. And every bit of this proceeds goes to help keep that island sustained so we continue to send kids to camp. And if you're interested in buying a ticket, you can go online to Kentucky State Police website, or you can go to a state police post, your local post, or call and say you want some raffle tickets, and we'll try to get you set up with some. So.
Okay, and that's the Trooper Island.
It's Trooper Island Camp, Boys and Girls Camp, yes. And
right.
It's not. A lot of people think it's for kids who are bad, who are in trouble. It's not that at all. It's for people. It's for children who are maybe financially unstable or have gone through something traumatic, and they kind of need a positive setting. So we get to take all these boys and girls to camp and have a wonderful time.
And when is the camp?
It's different times. It's throughout the summer. It's different times for each post area. Our post, Kentucky State Police Post 2, which covers Princeton, and then Kentucky State Police Post 1 go together. And this year we'll be leaving on July 15th. If it's for boys and girls aged 10 to 12, not everyone's guaranteed to go because obviously there are limited beds, but if anyone's interested, you can download and print off an application on our website and just contact a local state police post with that and get the application to them, and hopefully we can get a child in if you know someone who needs to go. Okay.
And what is the number they can call, and what is the website information?
It is 270-676-3313, and the website is www.trooperisland.org.
Great. Okay. Trooper Rob Austin, thank you so much for coming in this morning. The Angel Initiative, hopefully we can get the word out. Hopefully we can get some people to respond, and you can get them the help they need.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. WPKY 1580 103.3.
Indeed knows it's hard to find qualified candidates when you're hiring.
It's like finding a unicorn.
But when you post your job on Indeed, it's easy to find people with the skills you need.
Nurse practitioner, 4+ years experience, acute care certification.
Indeed has a huge pool of amazing candidates and screener tools that help you find your most qualified applicants.
Whoa, an entire short list of unicorns.
Now, get a $50 credit to give your first job posting premium placement at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, quality standards, and usage limits apply. Additional terms online.
Lowe's knows you'll paint right the first time because you don't want to do it over and you don't want to go over budget. We do it right too, with top brands at the right prices, like Valspar, our #1 selling paint and stain with proven performance and guaranteed colors. Valspar
to 8 p.m. and Saturday